The text editor I'm going to be using in these videos is Visual Studio Code. It's a very common text editor, but you can use obviously whatever text editor you like. I'm going to show here how we would install this on Windows. If you want to follow along exactly as the videos, then you can use this editor. So here I am on this installation page for Visual Studio Code, which I will link below. But basically there's 3 steps here. So we download the installer for Windows. Once it's downloaded, then we run the executable. And then the 3rd step, which isn't really a step, is just telling you where Visual Studio Code gets installed. And a useful tip here, which I use a lot, is that by default, it'll add it to your path environments. So from your console, your command line or terminal, you can just type code period, and it will open Visual Studio Code in that folder. So that's super useful. So that will happen by default. So the first thing we're going to want to do is just download the installer for Windows. And once we click that link, it automatically starts downloading. Once the executable is downloaded, we can open that to run it. And you can accept their software agreement. For these, I probably would leave everything at default. You see they have the add to path here, so that lets you type in that code period into your terminal. We also added to path for Python so that we can use Python in our terminal. We can click next, and then you can click install. I'm not going to click install because I already have it installed. And below in the text, I'll also include some Visual Studio Code extensions that I use. So if you are using Visual Studio Code, you can try out these extensions. They just make the quality of life a little bit better while we're creating Django applications.